Hey, what's up? It's Mr. J with SciOnTheFly, the place where learning makes sense. I want to focus this video on fractions. Specifically, what are they and how do we name them? Fractions are simply parts of a whole. They're pieces of a whole. Alright? Now, the way we name them is by putting one number on top of another number. Now, which number we put where means everything about that fraction. And you will be able to tell anything and everything that you need to know about it based on the position of those numbers. Now, the top number is a really weird word. We call it the numerator. It tells you how many pieces of the whole you're kind of looking at or talking about. The bottom number is another weird word. It's called the denominator. The denominator is always down. That's a way that you can remember that. The denominator tells us how many pieces of that whole would it take to make the whole. All right, let me explain. Let's look at this first bar right here. That's one whole bar. It's not in pieces, so it's not a fraction. Let's break it into two pieces, just like that. Now, I want to talk about that first piece. What fraction name could I give that first piece? Well, let's look at it. The numerator tells us how many pieces we're talking about. We're talking about one piece. So we're going to put a 1 in the numerator. The denominator tells us how many total pieces it would take to make the one whole, which would be 2, because there are 2 pieces in this bar. So the fraction for that first bar would be 1 over 2, or 1 out of 2. Or we also call that 1/2. Let's break it up again. Let's say that this bar is broken into 4 pieces now. What would be the name for the first piece? Well, I'm going to talk about one piece, so that's going to be my numerator. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces total that would make the one whole. So it's going to be 1 over 4, or 1 out of 4, or 1/4. Those are the different kinds of names that we would give it, but they all mean the same. Now, what about the first 2 pieces? If I'm looking at the first 2 pieces, what fraction would that be? I'm talking about 2 pieces out of 4, so it's going to be 2 over 4. What about the first 3 pieces? I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, so the numerator is going to be 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 over 4. 3 out of 4. 3/4. Now, what if I'm talking about all 4 pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4 is my numerator. And how many pieces would it make it whole? 4. So it's 4 over 4, or 4 out of 4, or 4/4. Now, anytime that you have the numerator that's the same as the denominator, that's one whole. 4/4 is one whole. So you don't have to say 4/4, you can just say one whole. Hopefully that helps and makes a little bit of sense. Until next time, it's Mr. J with SciOnTheFly, the place where learning makes sense.